Welcome ladies and gentlemen to another episode of Majin Starcraft, and today we're gonna bring you a series of games between DuckloadRa and Strelok from MouseTralock. So yeah, DuckloadRa is clearly promoting a replay site right now. Thank you DuckloadRa, but by the way, that's not where I got the replays from. Ha ha! Anyway, so yeah, this video is gonna be a best of 3 series, so it might have one game, it might have 2 games or 3 games. You need to watch it until the very end to find out the result of this best of 3 series. I've decided to put all the videos in the same one because hey, it's gonna be a little bit better, a little bit of more enjoyment for all of us, instead of having more videos and people probably accusing me, hey, you're putting out lots of videos, you want to get views, you want to get subscribers. Yeah, I want to do that, but I want to bring you quality before I want to bring you anything else. So our game is going to be between a Protoss and a Terran on scrap station, so we might see shenanigans because hey, this map is well known for its flight harassment right over this little bit of distance right here. I've said this in a past replay, I've always wanted to see units jump on these cables, shimmy along, jump up on the other base and just find the other opponent going, oh my god, where did you come in from? So we're gonna have a standard barracks at 13 racks, well at 12 racks, it's on 13, a gas right here and a simulator and a gateway, so nothing really special. Scouts sending out at, well, a slight delay for MouseTralock, but I don't think I don't know, about 5-second delay in the scouting time is gonna make that much of a difference. So we have a gas here. I don't know if this gas will mean marauders or such, but we'll see as the game progresses. Meanwhile, a second pylon being laid down for DuckloadRa behind. Will he use this pylon to hide something behind here? I don't know. The gateway is completely done and we'll see what goes down. A cybernetic score, so nothing of the sorts. Meanwhile, the orbital command, a supply depot behind here, so I suppose both the supply depot and the pylon are here for mostly scouting. And now this probe is gonna chase down the SCV. Probe Wars! That should make for an interesting custom map, don't you think? Probe Wars. First mule being laid down. That means that if we look at the income tab, we have MouseTralock gonna have a slight advantage in the income because of that. A little bit of bad positioning for the barracks. He has to lift it off to lay down a tech lab, so we might actually see Marauder play. And there we go. MouseTralock is in the lead because of that. That mule when it comes to resources. However, he hasn't put any SCVs into the gas, including the original building SCV, so the gas might have been a complete you know, bait and switch, and there goes the transitioning SCVs. Never mind. So now both players will have the same amount of resources coming in and gas. We have a robotics facility on the way and a concussive shells and marauders, so yeah, we're gonna have marauder play. Robotics facility and a second gas on the way for DuckloadRa. WhiteRa's doing an awesome play. There's a very nice hidden SCV here. I don't think that he'll be used for proxy at this point in the game, but hey, we'll see how the game progresses. Meanwhile, DuckloadRa has control of the Xel'naga tower, so if anything comes via ground, we're gonna see it. But MouseTralock is not gonna have anything of the sorts. He is getting a second barracks and he's going in 2 marines, 2 marauders and an SCV, so we might see a bunker play, might see maybe a delay in the Protoss expansion. We'll see how that plays out. The command center is almost done, so we're gonna have an attack and an expansion on the way. He's gonna use a small force to try and distract DuckloadRa from his expanding and from his build. Meanwhile, more barracks on the way, 4 racks on the way, and we'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, the robotics facility is on observer and more gateways on the way, so we're gonna have 3 gateways in a robotics facility. No Colossus as of yet, so yeah. Meanwhile, the force is slowly falling back, so no action. Meanwhile, no action on the map. MouseTralock actually gonna scout the expansion and gonna find out that there's really nothing here to watch. The observer is finally out, gonna see these 4 racks, and will WhiteRa have an answer to this? because he's getting out an Immortal now. Immortal is definitely good against Marauders, definitely good, because hey, it will be able to soak up a lot of those hits. But we'll see if by the end of the game DuckloadRa actually manages to win this, or will the victory goes to our Terran Strelok. Second expansion is done. Transitioning has already used the energy if you're wondering on the second mule. So right now the income is fairly easy to say, clearly favoring MouseTralock, as you can see. However, the production tab says we have a warp prism on the way. So how many gateways we have? Only 3 gates at the moment. So yeah, we're gonna have a warp prism, maybe use to transport these 3 zealots, or maybe 4 zealots, and then use it to increasingly reinforce it with 4 more, or 3 more. But now this army is looking fairly strong. No upgrades as of yet, not even for attack or defense, because there's no engineering bay. However, we do have stim on the way, conch shells are here, and marine shields are here. So these marines are a little bit tougher than they normally are. And here comes the warp prism. The warp prism's gonna drop the zealots right in here, gonna do some damage, gonna take out a lot of these SCVs. There is one marauder here, and the warp prism being laid down. Will there be reinforcing warpins? Will there be any warpins? I don't know. I do not see any warpins. Are the warpins on cooldown? I suppose that it would be the only answer. Are the warpins on cooldowns? Yes, the warpins are on cooldown, and here come the warpins warping in a couple of more zealots. These zealots being used to hold off any line. This army is still attacking here. What is MouseTralock doing? Probably considering that he can hold it with the reinforcing units, but that wasn't happening. The entire mining process has been stopped on the main, and now the drop is gonna go on the expansion. Meanwhile, the base is strongly defended with a couple of zealots, a couple of sentries, and there we go, using a nice guardian shield to separate the army. A guardian shield, a force field using to separate the army, guardian shield being used to defend the army, a second guardian shield coming up right here. Another immortal is out. The immortal is just doing so much damage, and the stalkers and coming into bringing up a few probes, but the probes are actually going to the second base of transition. Meanwhile, here more warping in zealots, so MouseTralock promoting the replay site as well. Again, not where I got it from. MouseTralock gives in the first game, and there we go, the first game is over. I'll see you guys next game. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 between DuckloadRa, a.k.a. WhiteRa, and MouseTralock. This game will be again with... Yes, SC2replays.net is a great site for replays. I recommend you guys go and visit it, but that's not what I got the replay for, and it just, you know, bothers me in a sense that I got the replays from a different source and these guys are promoting a different site. But hey, I suppose at the end of the game, it doesn't matter. So, in this best of 3 series, it is 1-0 for DuckloadRa, and our second game will be on Delta Quadrant. It is a 4-player map. It is a large map, so no more rushes, no more sneaky drops. Congratulations to DuckloadRa for brilliantly using a very limited number of zealots on the offensive, while his main force did stay behind and managed to stop the offensive from MouseTralock. So Strelok is in a bit of a corner here, so he needs to win this game, or else DuckloadRa wins this best of 3 series. So we'll see how this game actually manages to go. So far we see very similar openings from both players. Pylon and supply depot. There is the barracks, not walling in, so not expecting an early attack, which is, well, to be expected. There is the gateway, and the scout goes forward. I suppose that this will be the scout once it actually finishes building. But then again, see, this being a 4-player map, it's strange because as you can see right now, well, it's not necessarily a 4-player map, it's a 4-player free-for-all map. DuckloadRa is going up here to scout this spawning position, which is not true. Now it all depends, where will this scout go next. If the scout goes here, he will win. He's at the middle of the scouting time. But if the scout actually goes for this base, he would lose valuable scouting time, and that would give MouseTralock the advantage. Now let's see where this SCV is going. Sadly, again, this SCV is going to pass the probe right here and gonna go for this position first and not find DuckloadRa in time. So after this position, he'll probably go here and discover his opponent. So again, gateway cybernetics core, nothing really special there. Chrono boost being used on the probes. So we're gonna see how this goes. A second barracks being laid down. This time we have a reactor first, so no, not a tech lab. It's not gonna be an opening marauder. We're gonna see marines. We do not have an early marine. Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. We do. This marine probably is the thing that chased off the probe. The probe didn't take any HP damage, so now finally, MouseTralock is going to run in here into a full face of zealots. So yeah, it's gonna come down to micro. What if this expansion, if this SCV gonna get any kind of scouting? It actually manages, and the zealot doesn't even bother chasing around. Yeah, go ahead. You're gonna see what I have. Nothing really special. A gateway and a core. Good for you. Now the SCV is just being idle around here, maybe actually delaying. Yes, it managed to delay the robotics facility, and this robotics facility has been scouted. WhiteRa apparently is letting MouseTralock scout this, and there's that early stalker, and the poor SCV just went boom, exploding, going immediately into gray and disappearing into nothingness. I love this universe where you die, there's no burial service, there's no nothing, your body just disintegrates. I mean, imagine a marine dying. If this marine, let's call him Jim, if Jim dies, his body just disintegrates, and let's say Jim has a wife at home, or a family, or children who wants to see him off into the next life, and poor Jim is never to be found. He just simply disintegrated. He died in the field of battle. Where? We don't know. What do you mean you don't know? His entire squadron was decimated in combat, but since his entire squadron got disintegrated, we have no idea where he is. We're sorry for your loss. How did he die? Did he die heroic? Well, we know he died. That's all we know. So yeah, so Jim, I'm sorry to say, Jim, if you die, nobody will know. So now we have the force move coming in here, and we have a bunker being laid down. Will this force actually be able to delay the bunker, to keep the bunker being built? We have conch missiles ready. Check out the production tab. Is anything else ready? No, there is not anything else. The bunker will be built. No, the bunker does not get built. The bunker gets delayed, and that means that this bunker needs to be cancelled, and it does get cancelled in time. But now this force needs to do something or else, because that bunker did cost a few resources, and here comes the reinforcements. So it's gonna be this gigantic army versus two zealots and a stalker. There is an immortal on the way. Once the immortal is out, it's gonna be able to do a little bit against the marauders, but these marines will shoot with shields really fast, because marines don't have 10 damage, have 6 damage, so will do full on damage, and there is a lot of them. And now a lot of marines, and now the immortal is out, and now it's gonna be very close. And as I said, the marines is chewing through the marauder, continuously pumping out these two racks with the reactor and the tech factory, pumping out marauders. So right now DuckloadRa is backed into a corner, probes being pulled off the line, and sadly now probes are gonna get picked off, using a move attack to pick off a few probes and a few zealots, taking out the robotics facility. And now with the robotics facility dead, MouseTralock is actually going in for the kill, going to take out the pylons, and if the pylons go, no more power for the warp gates. Warp gate tech using it to reinforce with 3 stalkers. I don't know if this is enough. All the probes being put up, and this is doing massive economical damage. So now using his armies to attack and move. DuckloadRa gonna call the GG right here, because hey, that's what MouseTralock used the last game. So MouseTralock wins this, takes it into 1-1, and we're going into our 3rd game, last game of the series, deathmatch, ladies and gentlemen. The death call, death bell, death match right here. So GG to MouseTralock, and I'll see you guys next game. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 3 between DuckloadRa and MouseTralock, and the last game right now is going to be on Xel'naga Caverns, and it's 1-1. We had a very nice drop play on the first map from DuckloadRa. Well, you obviously know this because you are on the 3rd part of our video right here. And we had a very nice, well, 2 racks pressure from MouseTralock. So right now Strelok and DuckloadRa are communicating. I have no idea what they're saying. I know da means actually yes in Romanian, my own native language, but PPC, nah, not so much. So MouseTralock right now going for the same build, so is DuckloadRa. Pylon, well, I don't know, same build. It's too early to tell. We have a pylon and a supply depot. Yes, they're going for the same build, ladies and gentlemen. I can already tell you that. I guess I could tell you that if I've seen the replays beforehand, but I haven't. I'm new to this. So, kak etno delao. Does that actually sound like some sort of elvish language? Cagnello del Ao, Gandalf. Nishnu falar, Galadriel. Yeah. Anyway, we have a rack, so 12 racks on the way again. Gateway, so nothing really special. There's a gas, so we won't see any 2-gate pressure from DuckloadRa. Right now it's 1-1, I remind you, so whoever wins this match wins the series. So who do you guys root for? Leave in the comment sections below. That's not gonna be any help. Don't leave it. I was joking, because at the end of the day you're gonna know the victor in a very short amount of time. Yes, you've probably seen how long the video lasts, so you know when the victor is gonna be decided. I know that. Breaking the fourth wall, ladies and gentlemen, right here on Majin Gaming. So, the gateway is complete. I personally am rooting right now for DuckloadRa. WhiteRa is my favorite player. Again, it's strange because I'm a Terran player, not a good one at that, but I find myself always rooting for the other race than Terran, because usually I like the player, I like the build. MouseTralock is a good player, I'll not take anything away from him. The build on the last game was just brilliant. So yeah, I'm becoming a fan, but I'm a WhiteRa fan at first. Sorry MouseTralock, that's just how it goes. So we have a cybernetics core and a second pylon right here. The SCV is just moving around, powering up its little engines, just running away from this Zealot. Leave me alone, I'm just a lonely builder with my cigar in hand. I just want to promote smoking right here through your probes. Nicotine is good for Protoss, but we do not have mouths on ire. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Meanwhile, we have 2 Marines from the barracks. However, the barracks did get a tech lab. What I would point out is that at this point in time, we do not have a scouting probe for DuckloadRa. So DuckloadRa is actually going to base his scouting with that stalker. We have a robotics facility, so again a 1-1-1 build. Well, since this is not a Destiny Cloudfist build, I suppose we should name it. What do you guys think? What should we call the 1-1-1 build on Protoss? Destiny Cloudfist has been taken by Husky and his barracks factory starboard build, so the gateway core robo and, well, the gateway core robo should be called the, well, I don't know, what should we call it? I don't know. Let's call it the 1-1-1 build. Let's stick with the classic and simple. Anyway, we have Terran units moving on across the map, Marines and Marauders coming up for the early aggression again for MouseTralock. MouseTralock, on the other hand, hasn't had any kind of scouting done whatsoever. If we look at DuckloadRa, he has no idea what his opponent is building. He's basing everything on guesswork right now, which is not a good idea at this level of play. Meanwhile, let's show you some windows up in the right-hand corner. Left-hand corner income is, well, favoring the Terran, of course, mules. So yeah, and we have a second command center morphing into an orbital command, so that advantage is going to be even bigger. Meanwhile, we have immortals and sentries on the way, so basically same builds. DuckloadRa is doing the same build. It's all gonna come down to micro right now. We haven't had any kind of early aggression from either player. Apparently now MouseTralock is choosing to use his bunker defensively on his expansion. However, this expansion is really hard to defend. We have 1 entry point, 2 entry points, 3 entry points, 4 entry points to this expansion. Is one of the hardest expansions to defend. The observer is here, so now DuckloadRa has a basically good idea of what's going on inside MouseTralock space, so we'll have a good idea. So now we have the epic battle between a gateway unit and a marauder. So, but sadly that didn't finish because Marines came in here. But I say that Marauder would have won that encounter. So we have DuckloadRa moving out across the map. We have a proxy pylon on the Xel'naga tower. This is not necessarily a proxy pylon, but a reinforcement pylon, because if you know, Protoss warp-in units, closer the pylon, closer the warp-ins, shorter the run distance, and we have another pylon being made here, very sneaky behind the rocks. Will this SCV actually find it? Let's see, Mouse, all move across it. No, very nice, coming in here with the army from DuckloadRa and keeping the SCV away from the pylon, so this pylon is hidden, so the warp-in distance is very close. Whoa, static defense is going up here with 3 bunkers, 4 bunkers. and only 2 bunkers are full at the moment, but we do have additional units coming in, so all these bunkers will be completely full. Observer is aware of this. Another bunker here, so now DuckloadRa is coming in here, taking out that bunker, taking out a first SCV, and now it's going to be a couple of zealots in the mineral line, and this is going to be very early aggression on from DuckloadRa. 2 guardian shields defending, so it's going to be bunkers versus guardian shield, and there are 2 immortals here to take off a lot of that immortal marauder fire. The bunkers are slowly falling and slowly conceding. Guardian shields is doing a massive amount of damage reduction. Marauders losing and losing. Everything is backed into a base. MouseTralock has been backed into a corner at this point, so I think that this is gonna be the end for MouseTralock. He doesn't even have that much units. He is reinforcing. Let's see the unit loss. Units count. He only has 3 marauders and 5 marines, and this army is way huge. And all the SCVs coming in here, and SCVs won't be able to do that much. Zealots just warping in through them, and with the proxy pylon, everything does just come in, and MouseTralock is gonna call the GG right here. There it is. MouseTralock calls the GG. So DuckloadRa, WhiteRa, the player formerly known as WhiteRa, the prince of the Starcraft universe, is gonna take this victory and take this best of 3 series from MouseTralock. Very good game, very nice series to watch, very short, precise games, very well played from both players. I have to say it all came down to effectiveness and effective use of the units. And this time it went to DuckloadRa. I suppose the series could have gone either way, but MouseTralock decided to go for a defensive build, and using the observer, DuckloadRa was just able to find its weak point, penetrate it, spread it, and just tear it up. If you guys even think of making any kind of porn jokes out of those comments, you're just not nice. You have dirty minds. Well, thank you for watching this best of 3 series, and I'll see you guys next episode.